Welcome to Unscripted, a new category of the Different News podcast, where we dive into the unedited, unfiltered conversations that matters.
Hi Anisha, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine too. And what are we going to chat today about?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unscripted. Uh, all of us are very, very much aware of the term personal branding these days. But whenever we see or talk about personal branding, it's more of a business owner, entrepreneur, or somebody who wants, at a position where they need to be seen publicly. But as a common man, or as maybe as a fresh graduate, or as an employee, how important is personal branding, or do we even need personal branding? Is going to be today's focus. And we have our expert on panel today regarding personal branding. So, Dr. Gagi, today I want you to start off with telling people what exactly is personal branding and your perspectives on it.
I think it's a process of evolution and how you put your journey in front of people. So, according to me, I feel I still have a lot of things to learn when it comes to personal branding. But the area that you brought up, like for example, whether people are freshers, fresh graduates, or they are job seekers or employees. See, how I look into the thing is basically to highlight what I want to show people about myself. That is personal branding. It's all about the person. It's all, and when it comes to branding, branding is nothing but how you are showcasing your skills or talent or those things that are required for that present moment or time. That is how I perceive personal branding. So it is needed for everybody. Anybody can build a personal brand because everybody of us as an individual, we have unique things inside us. So that is my understanding. If you really want to tell me to, give a one box answer for what is personal branding, that is how I perceive. This is my personal opinion, of course. Yeah.
I agree with you. All of us at certain point want to identify ourselves as something. And personal branding, I think it was there all this time, but nowadays the term has come forward. That's all. Everybody wants to be identified as something. Let's start off with freshers.
All
As a
right.
fresher, passed
Hmm.
out, um, job seeking itself would start with the need for personal branding. If I'm not wrong, if I'm putting my CV out there, I'm just showing them what skills I have and all those things. How can I go about it?
Okay.
What's your perspective? How can one go about it?
Sure. I'll tell you my way of looking into it. First of all, it is not one thing. This we should understand. And it is not also a constant thing. We have some kind of misconceptions about personal branding as well. So, for example, if there is a student who is an undergraduate, I mean, who has passed just her undergraduation degree, and now they want to perceive a master's degree, say, somewhere in a good institution, probably say abroad, if I take that example. So, as a student, as a fresh graduate, what are the things that person needs to showcase uh, as per their personality that would really attract or make their profile stand out? And when it comes to personal branding, it is nowadays more popular, and we are hearing more because we are more thriving on online spaces. In online world, this is important because that is something like a first thing people perceive about you. So when, if I take this case, like taking just an example, so if I am a fresh graduate trying to apply for a master's degree, say to a foreign university into a particular course, let's take say I am wanting to pursue a course in clinical psychology, or say probably, yeah, let's take that clinical psychology. So Maybe I am not directly a psychology student. Maybe I have studied medicine, and it's kind of interdisciplinary, as you know. But when I approach this universities, of course there will be certain criteria requirements as per the admission criteria, so I have to of course fulfill that. But when somebody comes and sees, if the admission officer wants to see me or see my profile or search me, first of all, I should be available as a online. I should have my online presence. So there kicks in your first thing about personal branding. So in personal branding, if you are trying to pursue a course in clinical psychology, it's not necessary that you have to just put out your things that is on your CV, your credentials, your certificates, your things, but probably more human characters that you have. So what, when you come and see my profile, you will see content, or you will see certain keywords where I talk more about human behavior, human traits, nothing related to typical professional things that I have done, more about focus, telling, bringing up my human nature, maybe empathy, maybe kindness, maybe some kind of some volunteer work that I have done. That will be, according to me, that should be at the top list even before your degrees come, because you already have a scope to give all your credentials, your degrees and everything, blah blah blah, your academic things there. So this is one way that you can look into the thing. So it is more about bringing your human out. They will get similar applications from people all over the world, but what will make you stand out, your profile, your online profile will make you stand out, because your CV speaks many things, fine, but when they see a very strong, well-made, personal, branded profile, they you actually give a lot of impression without even speaking, without even the people seeing you. So that is the power of doing a personal brand for yourself. And brand always doesn't mean, as I said in the beginning, that it has you are a owner or you are an entrepreneur. No, you yourself, every person is a brand. Every person is a brand. So if you see the thing like this, say, mm, suppose when we let's take up a very common example, Horlicks. It's an energy drink, and it's a old age old drink. I think from our grandparents to parents, and we all have, still we use it. Now if you see Horlicks, you, without even, if you don't even hear the term, just hearing the term, you will have a perception of that bottle, that blue color,
Yeah.
and all those things, right? So that, just imagine that impression is in your brain impregnated. So how I say about personal branding, at whatever career stage you are, you have to create an impression on the other person's brain or head, so that it's more like, whenever they think of certain things, your image pops up. That is actually personal branding. So this is one example that I could give. I hope this was relevant and useful, or I could satisfy you with the answer.
Yes, yes, definitely. What do you think about being authentic? Because these days we see all, people faking their, right from marks card, people are faking. Forget branding or these things. And you are portraying something online, but your actual nature is something when you meet in person. So, how to get a balance between, because what happens is it's not intentionally someone is cheating or something. Some people are closed and like that, they don't want all their this thing to be online. There should be some balance at some point. So as a, because you have more experience this field, it's becoming more like question answer than perspectives, but at the end of the day all of us should learn. So how to get a balance, especially some are introverts, not all of us are so okay with keeping everything online. Some are introverts. How do you find the balance? What, how to, at what point we should stop is my question.
Okay, that is a very interesting perspective that you brought up, Anisha. So I will see this in a different way. I take this question in a different way. So I have to give you an example. So for example, it is my real experience I'm telling you. So you know that I do career coaching for when it comes to science communication medical writing. So I have met many women. I do for women. So I have met many women, but from different career stages. For example, I have coached like somebody like undergraduate who wants to earn a little bit of money in the gap that they have. I have also met very qualified women who have taken career break and they haven't, that's my niche basically. So I mostly work with them, but yeah, on and off I have seen postgraduate students coming in, and they are just at the verge of ending their course, and now they don't know what to how to go about the next step. So having said that, let me take up this example. Say a very qualified woman is there, and she has, say, PhD and have some done some postdocs, even worked in, say good companies, for example. But now after the career break they are coming. So I'm talking, giving a real example of my one of my clients. So in that interaction, I'm not mentioning the name just for the sake of privacy. So it was a very interesting interaction. So what similar question she asked me? She was very skeptic, and she was very soft. She is very introvert. She was very skeptic about not putting out about her career break. And for her it was not about child or being a mother. For her it was a different reason altogether. For her it was, there was a phase where she had to leave everything to take care of one of her ailing parents, who was like nobody, not parent but grandparent, and there was nobody to take care. There's something, some situation like that. So when I talked with her in our one-to-one sessions, the first thing I saw that she has a lot of resistance in talking about the career break, because career break for a woman is something like, either it is being a mother or things like that. She looked that, and it was almost 2 to 3 years she had to do by compulsion. First of all, this is a very good human attribute. How I handled her misconception is that it takes lot of courage and guts to take care of your grandparent and living your high paying job. Even it is not that you are bearing a child or something. That's the common thing we see when women take career break. So this puts out a fantastic human, that you are so empathetic, you are so kind, and that means you would be a very great asset to a company when you go as an employee, because you are empathetic, you are compassionate, you will do work with more dedication and empathy compared to any other people who would be hired. So see, this aspect, many people try to hide it because they themselves think, I'm not working. You are not working, but you are not just doing a job that where you are paid, but you are doing something else. So career break is a very important aspect, and to put it out on your profile. Okay. Secondly, what you should do is what you have done in that career break, that you should write or put it out on the profile, and because that gives a real human perspective, and it is very important for any employer who is employing you. Because CV can be great, your degrees can be great, but there are certain human attributes that makes you you. So this I can say as an example, I can answer your question in that way. Now where is the balance again is, for example, if you have, it is good idea to talk about your weaknesses sometimes, but the balance would be to talk more about how, about the weakness, of course, or the challenge, any challenge that you have faced, but how you overcame it and you are standing where you are standing today. That is most important. because that shows that your agility, your ability to handle challenges. So when like if somebody is employing you, they understand certain qualities that you have even without seeing your CV, just by reading this area. So I'm not telling that you should go out and only talk negative about yourself. That is something which many people do. And as you said, fake, many people make up stories to just get sympathy, or make, just to get some more attention. But I think that's an extremely bad idea. It doesn't work. If you really have a pain and if you have overcome a challenge, that's a fantastic story to give it out. But my point is always that bring that story out with a positive note. Even if you're writing 50 words or 60 words or 100 words, talking about that, that must be there somewhere in your profile. So particularly when it comes to personal branding, I prefer LinkedIn as an online platform most. That is my forte also. So in LinkedIn you can add experience, education. There are different sections. So ideally you can always add what you have done. If there was a career break, even if you have a challenging situation, you can add that even before adding your professional experience, educational experience, because that's common for everybody. So balance is here, how you are putting out your thing in a certain way. Because if you are trying to just create a, you have fantastic photograph, you have written fantastic things, but if it is not actually that you have gone through, people who hire, they are much experienced, they are people's person. You open your mouth, even before opening your mouth they will understand what it is. So fake things doesn't work at all. Maybe for short time there is more like a, people come what they call it, like the short kind of relationships, is like just coming and going, seeing each other and having a coffee, and just like a, yeah, date and bye bye tata. It is something like that. It will never work uh, for you. So never put out fake stories just to create something. I mean, because online you can do anything, it's in your hand. So fake stories doesn't work. And personal branding is all about honesty. It's not about fakeness. Personal branding is all about honesty. So I will conclude here in this aspect.
That's a really good point, being honest. Now that we have a vague idea about what exactly is personal branding, how to go about it? Do you consider sharing all those positive quotes and gyan on our social media status? Is it considered as personal branding?
See, it depends. Okay. If you really have something, then if you're sharing with the world, and if you really want to motivate yourself and other people, then it might be a good idea. But in what context you are doing, that is important. That is important. Now when it so see, first of all you have to understand that one thing, these are all relatable things. I mean, sorry, related things. That is, if I am trying to project myself as a public speaker, I'm trying to project myself as a motivational speaker, for example, let's take that kind of an example. But I am a fresh graduate. Does it align? It doesn't. But of course, if I am a fresh graduate and I have a very unique, strong path that I have crossed in life, probably from childhood, I have done a lot of things which other people haven't done. So I have a lot of real stories inside. So in that case, of course, I can put some of my stories out, which will be unique perspective. So my point is that it is sharing quotes or giving some kind of information, like what you quote unquote what you called as gyan. It becomes gyan only when people cannot relate you to that particular content. If you make yourself relatable to a content and people know, okay, this person is telling, makes sense. So your personal brand should be strong enough to give you that agility or capability to talk something which is motivating somebody, or I mean, things depends on that, the way you share, the context you are trying to build. So there is, I don't see it as anything wrong or right, but definitely you have to understand your position. So for example, if you are a job seeker, how does one quotation sharing helps you to come in the light recruiter's eyes? Does it help? Yes, if you want to share, it's up to you. But that content, for the purpose that you are building your personal brand, doesn't align. By seeing quotations from different big people, the recruiter doesn't understand what this person is up to. Instead of that, if you have done some projects in your college, if you have done some things, you have, even if it is a quarrel between your friends and you were the person to resolve it, you can tell that story. That makes sense. And you will see, when things are real and you put out this kind of stories, it shows lot of, it speaks about you. Personal branding is that, it speaks about the person, it is nothing away from the person. Because as I said before also, like when you asked me, fake is not, fake is a smashed cake. That is how I can put it. It doesn't work. So content here is a different aspect altogether. But so I think that's my perspective on your question here.
That's a good one. And when we are talking about content, there are two aspects of it. One is
Yeah.
what kind of a content should we put
Mm,
out as
mm,
a personal brand.
mm.
Second one is we are all human beings. Our thought process evolve. The way we look at one particular aspect of life and put as content. I may not agree with what I have done a week before or a month or a year before, and as an online platform we have come to that stage in society that when you're stuck to it, people are stuck there. When you put out something as yourself, people are stuck there. uh, has it been impacting the way we put out there? Like, is it limiting someone, or should it be a limiting factor when you're putting content on social media?
See, I'm a content person. I'm a, I'm a very, I mean, I like to speak about things which I love to do, or something which, even if it is a book, I like to talk about it. So again, here is a, content is always based on a context, Anisha. So as I said you previously also, like again, I'll bring another example of one of my clients here. So she had a abusive marriage and she came out of it. And then, her, I mean, she had a very painful period where she lost her child as well. Now she wanted to come back in her profession, because she was not able to do the job because of her personal turmoils in life, and she was forced to leave her earlier job. Now when she came to me, her I saw that she had done lot of certifications. Some were related, some were not related. For example, I'm not telling the exact things here, but just to make you understand this perspective of content, what she was doing. So she was trying to shift from a particular zone where she was quite qualified, and she was a, I mean, she has shifted careers, but where she was working, her zone was say more of data analysis, quality control, something like that. But now she wanted to, because she was trying hard to get something to earn for herself, because she had to survive on her own. So she was thinking of medical writing, science communication, and all. And then in the process, she felt, she was feeling that I'm not good in medical writing. She gave interviews with several pharmaceutical companies, in spite of having that kind of experience with quality assurance, quality control, and I don't remember everything at this point now. So she told me that I could not crack that interview, because the people told me that no, we need this kind of a thing. You are kind of not, I think it's not aligning. So how, so this is a conflict. The conflict is where? Conflict is with herself. Now when I went and saw her LinkedIn profile, what she is posting, she is posting about if you see her content, you will feel like that she is teaching medical writing. There is nowhere in her entire content, like whatever she was putting out, not very regularly, but whatever she's writing, she is good at writing. There was nothing which shows that she has such a vast experience where she has been working. So see, that's why I told content is always based on context. Now if I just like I told her that if you want to come in, if you're going to get into a medical writing job, why should you do 100 certifications in some other parallel things, and why should you have to come in medical writing? Because you can come back in your own expert field, because you have been working 6 7 years in that field. So where is that content? You are not writing anything about quality assurance. There is not a single post on it. It Her profile will give you an impression, if you see her content, that she is a freelancer and she's kind of, putting out content that way, and she's giving more advice kind of thing to other freelancers. That is a perception you will get by seeing her content. So see, uh, now if I have to make shift, then the entire content strategy should be reversed. She should write more about her experiences, or even something related to quality assurance, quality control, whatever she has, data analysis, because that is a different game altogether, right? So here comes the content part. So again, as I said you, uh, this is not constant. Today you are working as a dentist, tomorrow you might not. So you have to be diligent in understanding that how this makeshift I can show. So for example, I was a professional dancer in my childhood. I mean, not childhood, like for long I have done. I can cook well. I love to cook. I can also paint, and of course I love writing. So if you go to my profile on LinkedIn, do you see things that I mean, what perception you get by seeing my profile? You will get a perception about me, that this person, okay, this person is writing about genetics, dental, blah blah blah, some about some science related things, right? If I go and start putting recipes on LinkedIn, I know those would be very fantastic, because I really innovate things. I'm not, I mean, sometimes I pat my back, I'm proud of myself, but yeah, I don't follow any classical recipe. Sometimes I will change, and it turns out most of the time my experiments fails, but some success stories are there. But just tell me, if I am this person, I am writing a good headline for myself, I have this qualifications, and I am putting out recipes. How will you relate to me, right? So this understanding is important. So yesterday, if I was a clinical dentist, I will showcase those kind of things. For whom? Who is my audience? That should be the first question in your mind when you are putting out content. If you are a job seeker, if you want your profile to be hit by, or recruiters look into it, you have to put content in that context. For example, you can of course tell about your extracurricular activities. Suppose you have done some painting, that is relevant. Or you have done some, you have participated in a, neighborhood competition and you won a prize. That story is relevant there. Because if I do this, it doesn't make sense, because I am not targeting any mass audience. I have a very specific audience whom I want to target. Like for example, for me, uh, I will love to put a recipe, that's okay, but my content has a plan. I'm not targeting a mass audience who will come, all women will come and see my recipes. That is not my audience, right? This is not relevant for me, because my target audience is different. I am looking to a different niche of audience, where I want those kind of people should come and see my profile, or see my work, what I am writing, and etc etc. I can once in a while, just to give a different flavor, I can put a photo about or talk about my dancing skills, but it is extremely irrelevant on a professional platform like LinkedIn. I can do it on Facebook, or on Instagram. So see, these differences has to be understood. So yeah, so content is always about context, and as you evolve in your journey, you can always change that. Nobody is going to beat you up for doing that.
That's an interesting perspective on it. So, next, when you spoke about cooking competitions,
Hmm.
do you feel even how homemakers need
Hmm.
personal branding? Because at somewhere as a humans we want some kind of recognition, not just at the job, at home also, and probably that's the reason many homemakers feel frustrated in what they do. They don't get recognition. They do a lot of work, but they don't get recognition. Where do you
See,
see that going?
okay, so I have to bring out some philosophical note here. This is my understanding from life. When it is appreciation, we all love appreciation. I agree with what you say. If I have to be happy, appreciation is what? Appreciation at the end product, byproduct of appreciation is that you are happy. You are getting some dopamine rush, you are happy. For me, I believe that you should never vouch on an external factor for your happiness. This is first thing. This is uh, exactly not related to personal branding, but it has a very strong context here. I will tell you why. So you, it's a very good point. Homemakers, I think that's the toughest job in the world. But how many? Before I answer, I have another question. How many homemakers make it a point to come and talk about themselves on an online platform? Not everybody is happy to do it, or rather, I would say that not everybody is aware to do it or enthusiastic to do it. For example, like when we were discussing that we will do this episode, you told me that there the somebody in your family, they do fantastic gardening. You know that as a family member, maybe the neighbor would know. So does that person have ever made an effort to take a photo and write a story that how she solved, or he or she solved that? Suppose if there was a pumpkin plant and there was some pests attacking it, or some ants are there, so how did she protect that plant? Because she knows it very well, she's doing it. So this is that barrier has to be understood, and that barrier has to be from overcome from within. And suppose I post this photo, I am that's why I told you the first sentence, that your happiness should not, you should never ever uh, keep yourself at stake of other people's appreciation. I will tell you why. I mean, sorry, I will tell you what I do. Suppose when I'm writing an article on LinkedIn, right, I do that just because I love to do it. I do that not for waiting for how many people are going to like that. No, because I love that subject. I have written, and when I write, I put all my heart out. So, as a reader, you get that vibes from my writing. You get that connect. Similarly, for example, appreciation when it comes to homemakers. The point of appreciation, why should I even depend on other people? If I am happy and I want to put that story out, it should be, the thought process should be vice versa, that I am a source of happiness. See, I have done this and you feel happy about it. Even if nobody comes and likes, because today's world, I have seen that people are just like how many likes I got. Even this is a point of discussion, which is, I mean, I don't understand, because if nobody is liking, that's their problem. But I know I am happy. I have done I have done that. I mean, so I think that perspective has to be spoken more. And definitely, personal branding is always about your personal story. It is more about you. So, as a homemaker, if you are thinking, if you are enthusiastic enough to do this, you can take up anything that you like most, that you are doing in a day to day life, and start building a tribe, start building a story, and put it out on social media if you are comfortable, because that is also very important. Not everybody is comfortable. So if you can do that, then of course you will see that many people, you will always pull a tribe. A vibe will always have a tribe. So that vibe is you, and that is your personal brand. That vibe can never be the other person liking. So this person is appreciating. You never know with what that intention that person is liking your picture, because they might be jealous seeing you doing all these things. Are she's doing so much, I am also doing this, but I am not able to do this. They are envious, they are jealous, so it's a negative vibration that you are getting. It should be always the reverse. Do think, if you are happy to do something and you want to put out the story, just do it because you want to do it. It makes you happy. You be the source of happiness rather than vouching on other people making you happy. That is my take. This is my absolutely personal perspective. um, I mean, there might be disagreements, and I respect that, but that's how I am.
If you're already an employee and you're not a top level or mid-career level, mid-level employee, do you think personal branding helps to them also, or what are the benefits of it? We know what it is, we know what to do. How does it actually help you?
That's a very relevant perspective that you brought up, Anisha. It is very important for an employee to build a personal brand, because first thing, when it comes to a employee, when you are building your personal brand, you are also taking your company to with you. You also talk about highly about your company, the company culture, because that gives a very positive attribute for you as a person. And it also brings eyes on you of the higher level hierarchy in your company, to see you as a very positive person. First thing. Second thing is that, as an employee, if you have your personal brand, it also helps you in collaborations and particularly networking, which might be helpful at your present whatever job you are doing. It gives you widened variety of extensions of your qualities or qualifications, or upgrading yourselves in terms of skills. Secondly, if you are on a later part, if you want to switch from one company to other, which often happens when we try to upgrade ourselves in a career ladder. So in that case also, uh, this personal brand will help a lot, because people will start noticing you, because not all employees will do this. So that gives you a extra edge as an employee. You actually get more brownie points, you collect brownie points from your employer as well as your extended network. For example, it can be very beneficial for the workplace that you are working in, because probably your extended network might be good collaborators for your company. So basically, the company sees you as a asset, growth asset. So you become an asset. So if you have a very strong personal brand as an employee, three things are there. One, of course, it helps you to go up in the career ladder in that particular hierarchy where you are working. Second, if you're switching jobs, if you're going to a next level thing to pursue something else, I mean another kind of company that you are looking up to, so that again helps. That will definitely help. And most importantly, it helps you in networking without investing a penny. You don't have to go into net business networks and go networking this thing blah 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 to do something like that. And god forbid, if you are in a situation where you don't have things at hand, suppose if you are laid off for any reason, or if you have, if god forbid that doesn't happen with anybody, I pray that, but just taking that cue, your personal brand will, you don't know, it's like a weapon. It will act like a blessing to you at that point, because people know you now. And one thing I would like to say, that it is not about always million followers means that means you are a great personal brand. No, even if you have 20 followers and they are niche people, niche to those those people are somebody who are very relevant to what you are doing, or those people are somebody whom you want that they this kind of people should look into my profile, or this kind of people should know me for certain things, then your game is done. Okay, so this is something which is extremely important, and as an employee, I seldom see that employees do this. Very, very handful of people are aware and they do this. So it is a fantastic thing to do, because companies are just entities, is always the people who make great companies.
That's a very interesting aspect of it. And now I think we have covered almost all that we wanted to talk about. Before wrapping up, I want to focus when you said penniless investment. Uh, there are different kind of people putting their content out there. Some might be into video making, some might be into writing, and this is little more for people who are into video making. Do you think it matters whether you have fancy equipments to put your stories out there and all those things, as well as when it comes to writing? Maybe it depends on the audience also. Definitely, I'm aware of it. Still, do you think it gives you more edge if you use fancy equipments, or if you're more into videos rather than writing, or the way we put out the content, even though authentic? Do you think it has some impact? Should someone focus more on video making or more on writing, or as long as it's authentic, anything will work? What do you think?
See, this will depend on what platform you are using. So, because all these social media platforms today, what we have, for example, LinkedIn, for example, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or many others which have come up in the line, right? Pinterest. So, you have to understand one thing. First, for whom you are making the content. That is most important. Understanding your audience, for whom you are doing this, that is first. Second, what is your purpose of doing this content? What you want out of it, what is the objective of that you want to achieve? Because you are not, I mean, if you just tell me, okay, I want to make videos just like that, okay, then I don't have an answer. I really don't know how this works. Third, what are your strengths? These three aspects, these questions you should ask yourself. And when it comes to, like, see, these are all algorithms, right? All these platforms work on a typical algorithm. So, for example, LinkedIn, if you see nowadays, in at present, LinkedIn is pushing video content, short video content. LinkedIn is pushing that. But ideally, what LinkedIn is still a writing platform, and people who are engaging there, they are people who read. They are not, and people who are thriving more on Instagram, and they are scrolling guys or scrolling people. So that is a different set of audience. So that is it. That's why told these three things is very important what when you are putting out content. Secondly is that you also have to understand your bandwidth. One point that I want to make here, a statement, is that many people think today I will make, I'll make video today, tomorrow I'll write something. See, no, we are not good at everything. So one is, if you want to try formats, please do try, because until unless we try, we don't know what we are good at. Secondly, if you are not comfortable in something, please don't do this. There is no force on you. I'm not telling that you should never do this. You have that zeal to learn, you have to improve. Of course, go ahead and upgrade yourself. But just for the sake of, five other people are doing, so I will also do, and I do a craft video, I don't support it. Rather, I will prefer writing, because I know, okay, I have that strength. So that's why I told you in the beginning, understand your strength first, understand your audience first, and understand which platform suits you best, because everything, if you see, comes down to one point: your objective. So personal branding is all about that. And there is no comparison with content. Today, if you tell me that people say that people don't read, attention span has gone down. So when it, right? So I will tell you, if I show you, if I can, I could, if I show you statistics, still I'm talking in terms of content marketing, or the for businesses I'm talking about. The best content which gives the best ROI with minimal investment is still blogs. It's not short videos. Okay, so see, and this dynamics is ever changing. You cannot hook on to one thing, but of course all these algorithms have been built with a certain basic principles. You have to understand that, and if you see that your things align there, choose one. You don't have to thrive everywhere. Nobody has given you that, it's not a burden on you, particularly when you are building your personal brand as a employee or job seeker, or whatever it is. That is important. Maybe for businesses it is more important to be omnipresent, I agree. But for this, I mean, for these categories of people, I don't think it is necessary that you have to thrive everywhere. You can choose one thing, one platform, and one statement I will say: be consistent. If you are posting once in a month, you should post once in a month, on that particular day, on that particular time. So practice of consistency will only give you results. Otherwise, suddenly you post 100 things and next 6 months you are not there, it will never help you. That is not how we put out that personal brand. That's not personal branding. That's not, I mean, these are, as I said, this is related. That's not how you put out content. So know your bandwidth. If you are a busy person, if your work demands that you are working 14, 16 hours and you have no time, don't worry about your personal brand at that point. You can just make a good LinkedIn profile and keep things. Don't get into content, publishing content. Probably you can just do reposting of other people's things which are relevant. That you can do instead of you creating a content. If you have time, then do it, but please do it with a plan and consistently, because all these algorithms, all the platforms are based on one single principle: consistency. So this is what I would like to say in whatever you asked me. I hope I could answer um, what you wanted to know.
So at the end of the day, it's not just the content, even the consistency is the king.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because otherwise, when see, the thing is that, um, when you pour drop water on a rock, or you are rubbing a soil, hard surface, the dent will happen only when you rub it every day. It will not happen in one night, overnight. And if you want to do that, you might have technologies to do that, I don't know, but it's not sustainable. It will That dent will be so deep that either it cracks and things vanishes off. So effort has to get a good byproduct. Effort has to be made, and consistency is a difficult practice. It should flow like your blood inside your body. This is something which I believe. It is a kick. uh, you don't need any motivation to be consistent. It should be a kick from within. So that is how I see. And yes, like for example, if you ask me, I started writing in several genre, okay, on my own LinkedIn for my business purposes, but I couldn't continue everything. I have been inconsistent in many things. That's okay, no problem. But uh, where I found my strength, I try to be consistent there as much possible. So I think that's the thing that I would like to end with.
I think this has been a very one-sided but enlightening conversation today. So, viewers, if you have some inputs or if you want some questions to be answered, feel free to write it in
Yeah.
comment section. Dr.
Yeah, I
Gayatri,
think it
over
was
to
very
you.
interesting, and thank you. Though it became not a conversation, but more like a question answer. But I really got an opportunity through your questions to put out my perspectives, and thank you for asking so fantastic questions. Because I think we always don't talk about all these things. Sometimes we don't get a chance, and sometimes we just ignore things. But I think whatever we discussed is very important, and I hope this episode gives value to all our viewers. And yeah, so keep watching, and please subscribe, because I have like we all know that you might like our content, but please subscribe the channel, so that helps us to grow a bit. So we will try to bring out more valuable content, and you can always suggest us on that, because we are open to your suggestions, and we can bring up those things actually on, particularly on unscripted. So thank you, Anisha, and I think we have chatted today a little bit kind of elaborate, but it's always very nice to talk to you.